Everybody's refreshed. Wow, Todd, you look good for a change. What do you got, David?
You didn't go to the eye doctor, buddy.
No, I blew my appointment off. Actually, it really did.
Mike, David Moore, Dallas Morning News. You may or may not know that you're returning to Green Bay this week. When you've been there, when you spend as much time and had as much success as you did there, do you anticipate this will be one of the more emotional weeks and games in your pro career?
Emotional? No, I think really, I think it's just like anything in this league. You have to get ready to go win, and that's really where my mind is as far as the game. I mean, obviously, I have great memories about Green Bay, and obviously spent a lot of time there. But I mean, I'm 4 years removed from working there, and I'm really looking forward to taking our team up there. And like I told them today in a team meeting that. This is a really cool place to compete. So it's obviously, a lot like AT&T Stadium. I mean, we have an unbelievable stadium that people enjoy coming to compete at, and it's very similar up there. Obviously the history and tradition of Green Bay and Lambeau Field, and it's an experience that I want them to maximize. But most importantly, we're going up there to win the game.
Hyder Dixon with the AP. Have you been looking forward to this week, dreading it, both, neither?
It's here. I think it's more like that. I think, it's, I mean, we're in such a, when I had obviously had to think about it today because I was coming into this wonderful session. But, no, I just, this is more about your family and your friends. People say, "Hey, when you coming in?" Like I'm going to fly in Wednesday for the weekend. I mean, it's, we're going to get there Saturday at 5 o'clock like we always do. And so that part doesn't change for me personally. But, I think this is more about your family and friends.
Clarence Hill for Star Telegram. Speaking of your family and friends, how are you handling that? And you can compartmentalize it, but how they can't. Your wife's from there and all the other stuff, and how they dealing with it.
Well, you're smiling like you're going to give me a loan for all the tickets I had to buy. I thought that's where you were going with it. But no, I mean I mean they're looking forward to it. I mean they're looking forward to seeing friends and family getting together. But yeah, it's still kids have school, and it isn't like the whole world's going to stop for us to go back there or for them to go back here a couple of days. So. But yeah, they're definitely looking forward to it.
No motivation at all, no personal motivation for you personally. Just
I really want to win the game. Is that enough? Yeah. It'd be great. Hey, we're 6-2. Monday at the bye week. This is for me. It's really the same as it's always been. You have a chance to really take a deep dive into the things that we've done very well, things we need to improve on, and that's really what we spent today on. Also we have what we call across the hall. I know we've talked about that before in here, and the players just love it. So we had that session this morning, and that's awesome. Joe Witt and Ryan Feeder, took from a defensive perspective with the quarterback. So there's just a lot of great meetings. I'm actually looking forward to watching the videotape on that. So, but I talked about the Green Bay experience. I wasn't going to. I don't think I'd have been doing my job if I didn't, address it. And, trust me, I'm the last person that wants to create any type of distraction or questions for somebody else because, we're at the point in the year now. We're starting the third quarter of the season, and we know what it takes to win a football game. And, we're obviously they're coming off a tough loss. And, we're really into, trying to get an advantage, today. And we're spending the afternoon right now working on Green Bay, and we're going to have a light practice, here at 4 o'clock. So I mean that's really where my mind's at. So like I said, I'm just here for you wonderful people and your incredible questions. So.
Dewey Scruggs, NBC5 Dallas. You're the last coach to win a Super Bowl for Green Bay. If there was a video tribute for you, the fans were clapping for you, how would that be received?
The fans clapping? I'll take that. I mean, I'm not going to. Absolutely, I was. The Green Bay fans are very nice, and then we're expecting them to be nice Sunday afternoon. But no, I don't know. I haven't thought about that. That's I'm going there to win.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. What did you learn during your tenure there?
What did I learn?
Yeah, what did you take in here?
Oh, shoot. I mean, so much. I think any coach, as you go through this profession, I mean, if you're not learning every day, then you're not growing. So I've grew a lot there. Grew a lot personally, professionally. Learned a lot what not to do too. I think that's part of the experience. That's part of being vulnerable, honest, all those things. So, yeah, I mean, Tad only has us slated for a couple more minutes here, so that's a very long answer. Yeah, no, a lot that I'm thankful for. Very, very grateful for my time there, the relationships. So, and hopefully I'm doing a better job applying that to this program here.
Obviously, any ending for any coach is always a little bumpy, and yours was bumpy there. And there was a discussion about you and Aaron Rodgers and that relationship. How would you describe that relationship now?
Really looking forward to seeing Aaron. We've had great communication. I have nothing but, love and gratitude for him. I think like anything in life, I think personal relationships are private. You got to remember I was born in the '60s, so I'm being better at expressing myself publicly, and but no, just a whole lot of appreciation, not only for him, but the players, the teams that we had there. I mean, we had some, great times, great moments. When I think of him, I think of all the one-on-one conversations we used to have, especially in the younger days. And it always ended with a hug and I love you. So, and that's when I think about our relationship. I think he made me a much better coach. I mean, you're talking about a man that's, one of the premier professional athletes of his generation. I've spent the weekend watching him play quarterback. He's still playing at extremely high level. Just the fundamentals and just the way he plays. It's, he deserves all the accolades that he receives. But I'm looking forward to seeing him. And what was the other part of the question?
I mean, that was fine. Yeah.
So good enough. Okay.
Nick?
Coach Nick Eatman, DallasCowboys.com. Obviously, the focus is on you as being the head coach going back to Green Bay, but you got a lot of assistants that coach there and even played there. Do you sense that they're talking a lot and their excitement is about this as well?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's 10 of us, that have spent time there. So I think it's just like anything. And, sometimes life gives you an opportunity to go full circle, to go back and show how much you've grown. And that, that's part of our contribution to winning the game this week. Thank God I'm not playing because we'd have no chance. But I think everybody has a role. You want to do the best you can with that role, and any type of experience. I think any time a team from this part of the country goes north, there's a different. The grass is different. The weather's changing. So I'm really focused on making sure our team is ready to do the things we need to do to win the game, and just make sure they're ready for this stadium, because, a lot of our guys have never played there. So no different than, we go to other stadiums too. I'm an expert in grass. Clarence has told me so. So, I mean, we spent time on the details of that kind of stuff. But, yeah, all of us have we've talked about it briefly this morning. And, we all want to go there and win the game.
Mike, how do you digest that when they let you go, they said, okay, we need a coaching change, and they bring him out on the floor for the first 3 years, he wins 13 games apiece. Do you take it personally? How do you process that?
I don't know why anybody would take it personally. I mean, that's what this great game's about. It's about opportunities. I think Matt's done an excellent job with his opportunities. I was there 13 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. So you don't ever stay the same in this game, especially as a head coach. As a successful team, you're either getting better or going the other way. So, I really don't have any issue with the change. I think it's part of being in this league as long as I have. I mean, I think this is year 29, and I've spent half of my career in Green Bay. So I think I have a pretty good grip on how things work, but more importantly, how they work in this league. I mean, this league's about having an opportunity and maxing it out. Because if you don't, then obviously something's going to change. So the exit, it left a dent. Just to be honest, with our family, but it's been 4 years. We're so much better because of it. We've had time to process it all, and it's a little unique. I mean, I don't recommend anybody that goes through it to stay in the town there, while you go through it. But I think back as my year off. I had a number of knee surgeries, and and I went to my rehab was there at Titletown Orthopedics right next to Lambeau Field. Don't recommend that either. So 4 days a week, but it's all part of it. It's all part of it, and obviously our family has strong ties back there, and always will.
Mike McCarthy, Yahoo Sports. You called plays for a while there, kind of went back and forth on whether you wanted to call plays. You haven't called plays in your time here. How did your time in Green Bay influence that decision here? And at what moment in your Green Bay career did you come up with the philosophy you used here?
Really, my experience in Green Bay calling plays really didn't have anything to do with the decision of the job, responsibility, and structure here. I didn't call the plays in part of the first probably 2 quarters of the season in 2015, but called them every other year. And frankly, I think just like anything, and I know when you get to my age, when you get in your 50s, you probably reflect more than you should. And I had the time to take the year off and look at everything, listen to a lot of advice, some of it good, and frankly, some of it very poor. And I listened to a couple things I shouldn't have listened to. So, but you live and learn. You make those decisions. I think what my year of reflection taught me was to just recharge, reboot, and build off of what you established. This league is about trends, evolution, staying on the front of the curve, and so forth. And I've always known that. I've always tried to be a part of that. I'm talking as an offensive coach. But really, my decision on how this was built here was clearly based off of Dak Prescott, what was in place, and just trying to, make a transition as quick as I could from, the program that was here before to the one I was bringing.
I'm not asking who gave the advice that you wish you didn't listen to, but what was an example of advice that you would have done differently?
It's irrelevant. I'm just, I'm being vulnerable, but not that vulnerable.
Before you won your Super Bowl, I'm sure you saw how Lombardi and Holmgren were revered. How much did you think about that after you won the Super Bowl, that you'd kind of joined that fraternity, and what do you think role that might play in your reception that you get?
Shoot, I haven't. Great tradition and history there, but I'm also very in tune with the great tradition and history here. So, and once again, this is a football game that I just want to do my part, do a great job in the preparation of it. Obviously the game day, win the game, but they do a phenomenal job up there. Just no different what Jerry does down here. They do an incredible job of having their alumni in, they're around, and so it's a big part of their their culture and their development. It's something that it was a great experience for me that hopefully it made me better when I came here. But I've always embraced the tradition in the history. I think tradition in history is energy. I think there's energies in the bricks of of the star. No different than Lambeau Field. I think those are assets. They're resources that can help you emphasize what you're trying to get done each and every week, let alone every season in this league. So to think that I've been the head coach of the Green Bay Packers and now the Dallas Cowboys, frankly, I never dreamed of that growing up in Pittsburgh. So I am very, very grateful.
Mike McCarthy, Dallas Morning News. Green Bay wasn't just a place you coached. It's very much where you lived. And Jessica, a special place for her, for your kids. What about the area do you and as a family, as a unit?
No, this is bullshit. You guys trying to make me cry.
What is it? Individually.
Why don't you ask me a question about 12 personnel or something? He said, what the? Hey, cry. God, I'm good. Yeah.
What, as an individual, as a family, as a unit, what about Green Bay do you guys miss most?
What I miss most?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I think it's like anything, the people. And that's why I think it's been such a great transition for our family, because our kids, were obviously born there, raised there, but to come here in this experience, because the lifestyle in Dallas, Texas is incredible. This has been an incredible opportunity for us as a family. But, Jessica was born there, kids were born there. So people, Mr. People.
That it?
See you, Brad.
No, Brad.
Brad.
Brad Sham, Cowboys Radio. So when someone says Dallas Green Bay, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Ice Bowl. It's the first thing I learned about it. Yeah, it's the first thing. Oh, the no catch. Or no, I mean, the catch that was ruled an incompletion, I guess, in respect to Jerry's last comments. But
Getting back to football.
there you go.
Get back to football. Two things. Can you talk about your interest in Odell Beckham and Zeke? How's he look and what's his prospects for this week?
Zeke won't practice today, but I know he's making great progress. So we'll see what Wednesday looks like. As far as Odell, I think there's two parts to that question. I mean, number one, we really love our receiver group, and I really like the balance of the veterans, versus the young guys. So, I think we got some better football with more opportunities in front of us. But in particular to Odell, I mean, I've always been a huge fan of his. From Ben McAdoo and Joe Witt, all the guys between that I've worked with in New York at New York Giants and the Cleveland Browns, everybody has nothing but great things to say about him. Obviously, I've always been so impressed with his football playing ability, but I've just heard so many excellent things about him over the years. So, I think those are conversations for the future. But right now we're focused on our guys.
Mike, what about Hooker, Sam Williams, and Washington?
I look for Sam to practice today. Malik Hooker will do some. He'll be probably being limited. We're not going to be out there long. We're just working on some self-scout focus periods. As far as 7-on-7 and team. And James, we're talking about we're talking about him this week. So.
Jory.
Your past couple of games, you've had 4 tight ends active, and this most recent one, all 4 of them played 14 or more offensive snaps. What's that doing now for your offense to get them involved the way you guys have?
This is the guy we missed right here. This is the guy I was looking for. I needed you about 5 minutes ago, but no, I think Sean's done some excellent things. I was really happy to see Sean get the opportunity. Dalton was going through the injury. The 2 young guys have played very well. I'm very happy, with Peyton and Jake. So, I think the other part of it too is if you want to take a deeper dive, if you look at how we lined up with our 48 players, we've been 24 defense, 21 on offense with 3 specialists. So, in that. You have to adjust your game plan process a little bit to that because I just know the way that I've always done it. You don't want to be one player away from being out of a major personnel group. If you can avoid, obviously you can avoid it. So with that, it gives us more flexibility in 13. We had the 03 package there against Chicago, so it's giving Kellen a little more ammunition to go a little deeper into the menu of things. So I do like the balance of being at 22 offense, 23. Obviously we're heavy tilted to the defense, rightfully so, and it's been a real benefit for us on special teams. Sean McKeon's been an excellent, special teams player. So all those things go into those decisions.
Thomas Smith talked about the first half of the year was like a blur, and he needed to kind of settle down and just reflect on it. What did you think of this first half of the year?
I think he's made a very accelerated path. I mean, think about where we were going into the Tampa Bay game, and he's picked it up. He's very, very bright in the classroom. His application, work ethic, and all that's really, and he just needs to play. I mean, and not to get on my soapbox here about offensive line, training ability, as far as their time and so forth. He's just a young guy that he's just going to keep getting better each week. I mean, physically, he's got everything you look for. He's got the perfect temperament. He's an alpha. I mean, he just needs that continuity, connection, the communication, all the things that just come with playing. And live reps, loud stadiums. We got 2 games in a row on the road, so our communication is really going to be challenged. So these are the things that all of our young players need, and I think Tyler's doing a hell of a job. I'm very happy where he is. I mean, yes, you talk about all of our young guys. Trust me, I just went through every penalty, and you go through all the good and the bad and the things that didn't go so well, and it's littered with a lot of young guys. But but the positive part about it is our young players have played a lot of football and have done a lot of really good things. And Tyler's he's probably top of the list.
Last 2.
Mike, did you have a chance to sit in on any of the across the hall meetings today? If so, what stood out? And can you take us through some?
Well, I just love the teaching component of it. I sat in the quarterback one with Joe Witt and Ryan Feeder. So, I really like the way Dak and Cooper and Will interact, because really the whole premise is we take, it's 120 minutes, so we go 70 minutes of video, and then, we really want to have a lot of time here at the end for Q&A. So the conversations that come out of it, and then most importantly, it's just not the fact that you get to have that conversation. You really build a foundation for the conversations to continue. So, and I know the quarterbacks love it. I mean, I haven't got to every position, but the normal response from the players is, "Man, can we do this every week?" So, obviously, there's not enough time in a week to do this because the coaches put a tremendous amount of time on the bye week getting ready for this. So, I think I've always felt it's very, very productive. I think it's great for the communication amongst your staff, players, the connection of offensive players and defensive coaches, vice versa. I mean, there's a time I know. In my experience in this league, I don't think the offensive players knew the defensive coaches' names, things like that. So there's just so many good things that come out of it. And at the end of the day, it's an opportunity to make us a smarter, more engaged, more aware. Because everybody talks about instincts and awareness. Well, how do you develop that? So you don't just sit around and hope that the guy gets it by year 3. So I mean, there's just so many good things that come out across the whole.
David.
You expect to walk down Mike McCarthy way at some point this weekend?
I just drive by once in a while, make sure the sign's still up.
Do you have a sign in your house? Do you have a sign in your house?
Thank you, Coach. Tad.